Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. Well, it looks like most of the pundits are in, and my prediction for the debate going slightly to Romney was off. One thing I did want to make note of is the dumbfoundedness that overcame me at the fact that it was Mitt Romney who brought up and broached the seminal issue of the economy, and that is the declining wages of the American worker. And it was Mitt Romney who brought this up. This presumably would be a very progressive issue, something that supposedly the left and the Democratic Party would be interested in, but of course they are completely silent on the subject. I just found it rather strange and odd that Romney would bring it up at all, because basically it is him and everything he represents that has brought the situation to the place where it is right now, and that is that we have had significantly declining wages for average American workers since the 1970s. And it is a basic fact. It is fact. Go look at the statistics. It doesn't matter under what president you're talking about. It doesn't matter under what administration, Democrat, Republican, because it's all the fucking same. All of it serves the interests of the corporate masters. So I'm still sticking by my prediction that Obama's going to win, even though they're trying to sell the point that Romney is ahead in some of these polls. It's not going to matter. I did want to take a moment to note the passing of Russell Means and George McGovern. And I like to note the fact that when it comes to George McGovern, you're not going to find candidates of his caliber like him or hate him in today's environment. It seems that the powers that be were able to choose more significant individuals with more weight and gravitas, as it were, back in the old days, whereas now they don't even try. They just throw a pile of shit against the wall, and if it sticks long enough, that's the guy they're going to run. And that's what we have right now. We have Mitt Romney, who, as has been pointed out many times before, member of the Mormon Church, who does engage in secret rituals and practices within the Mormon Church, wears his magical holy underwear, and ships jobs overseas as slices and dices companies, and basically is poised to destroy the United States completely, which is in line with the Mormon doctrine of vengeance against the United States for the murder of Joseph and Hiram Smith, that they supposedly no longer follow. And of course there's the White Horse Prophecy as well, which it seems as though the church has been grooming Romney to fulfill that role. But all of that may turn out to be meaningless in the end if Obama wins, as I believe he will. Now, let's talk about Russell Means, and let's talk about someone who is a real hero. Here is someone who is involved in Native American activism for a long time. And here is a complete group of people who have been completely and totally destroyed. You know, it's not bad enough when you have European settlers coming into this country and just murdering them wholesale and taking everything that they fucking own. No, that is not good enough. You have to then put them on these reservations that you change 5 or 6 times, and then knowing that they have a proclivity for alcohol in some cases, it seems like it might be a genetic issue with Native American people, that they have a very difficult time with alcohol. You then give them alcohol to their heart's content, which leads to alcoholism and destruction of family life. And to a great deal of Native Americans now having very little to do with their own culture. And I'm not going to sit here and attempt to speak for Native Americans, but what I will do is say that I mourn the passing of someone who cared a great deal about Native Americans, and that's Russell Means. And I will say that I think it is a shameful fucking disgrace that Native Americans have been marginalized so effectively and crushed underfoot so completely in this country. It is an absolute outrage and a disgrace. And I hate this country for what it has done to the Native American population. I hate it. Now, as for the final notes for this particular issue, I want to point out that there seems to be a lot of fear-mongering about the election in general, and in particular from certain loudmouths that people listen to, about supposed riots amongst black people if Obama doesn't get reelected, and martial law clampdowns, and of course there is the continued meme that is being thrown, especially by Alex Jones and his fat fucking big fucking mouth with his ridiculous fucking stupid nonsense, and the continued blathering that Obama is somehow a socialist. Now, you find that this stuff is creeping up again close to election time because there are fucking morons who are going to believe this fucking shit. And if you say it enough close to election time, some people will believe that. And they will, of course, vote accordingly. If they're scared of the big bogeyman socialism. Of course, Obama is not a socialist. He is the furthest thing from a fucking socialist. You know, he's only slightly less Romney than fucking Romney is. All you have to do is look at the policies that have been enacted over the last 4 years. And if you want to point to the healthcare thing as being some kind of great champion for people by doing something about the healthcare crisis in this country, you're fucking wrong and insane. The only thing that did was make sure that the health insurance private corporations can rake even more fucking money out of you without doing anything to curtail cost of the insurance policies themselves or for the cost of fucking care. And as for any riots or martial law clampdown, this is only fear-mongering by the likes of Alex Jones, who will not endorse Mitt Romney, heaven's sake, no, but he will do everything to demonize the other guy, knowing full well that the vast majority of people that he is preaching to will vote for Romney out of fear of the consequences of 4 more years of Obama. And I say to you that there is nothing to fear in 4 more years of Obama, any more than there is anything to fear in 4 years of Romney, because they both will do the same fucking things. Give hundreds of billions of dollars to banks, the mega rich, the mega wealthy, finance capitalists, and all their ilk. Because even Obama is calling for a reduction in the corporate tax rate, which no company virtually at all pays the fucking rate as it is now. So you see, so much is the same. So why would anybody care? As has been said by others more eloquent than I, Obama represents the death of 1,000 cuts, whereas Romney is a very fast slash of the throat, or a knife in the gizzard, as it were. Really, it makes no difference. And as I noted before, because the left is completely dead in this country, there is no such thing, effectively destroyed by the John Birch neo-Confederate people who have been made it their goal over the last several decades to stomp out any notion that anything coming from the left can be good or beneficial or in any way serve political purposes in this country. They've effectively destroyed it. So there's nothing to be gained in a Romney administration by rallying the left to oppose him, because there is no effective left in this country. So the way I see it, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, so it really doesn't matter. I just happen to think that the people running the show want Obama in there because he is being portrayed as a socialist leftist, and he is black, or at least biracial. And his policies will not be opposed by the limp-wristed left that proclaim themselves to be left in this country, because they have such a terrible thing with racism that they can't do anything that can possibly be construed as racist, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with race when you're opposing a president's policies. So, you know, when it comes to listening to these alternative media outlets like Alex fucking big fat ass motherfucking piece of shit asshole jackass, who all he ever does is shout fear, 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 death, FEMA camp, death, fear, fear, death, with all of his stupid chicanery, only serves to propel Romney into office, even though he would deny it. And that is the essence of what you can see in everything that he does. He is a proponent of the very system that he claims to be against. And by demonizing Obama to such an extent and putting out these ridiculous rumors that they're going to be rioting and all this other kind of stuff if Obama doesn't get reelected, only serves to cement my case, and that is that he serves the system itself and the continuation thereof, because that's where he makes his money. He has nothing to gain by moving outside the two-party system, even though that's what he claims he's doing. So, finally, you know, I would say this to Alex fat-ass piece of shit, jackass, motherfucking prick Jones, to just shut your fucking mouth for once. Think about what you're saying. If you actually care what you're doing, look at what you're doing and realize that you are a sham shill piece of shit fat bastard. But of course you don't care because everything's all about money and ratings to you, so you know you have to play to the lowest common denominator. So there you go. And a true testament to a real hero, Russell Means, in memory of him, because he actually did care about his people and his culture and the way it had been decimated and destroyed by this country. And I give a tremendous amount of kudos to him for everything that he did for Native Americans in this country. So, just my thoughts for today. Thank you. Good night.